What's going on, y'all? It's Nick with Bear Family Farms. We haven't done a video like this in a while, and I wanted to put one out there for you guys. Here's a little something that we put together as far as something that you can use to kind of calculate your sales of kids for the year, whether you're going to feed them out, which is down here, this cursor, you see feed out calculation, or if you're selling them by the head. And all you're going to need to fill out are these highlighted portions. So we'll run through them real quick, try and keep this as short as possible, keep you guys' attention. It's really cool, guys. It really opens up your eyes on either how much you're losing or how much you're making. Maybe you thought you're making so much money. A lot of people, what they'll do is, they'll take that sale barn ticket, or they'll take that sale ticket, and they'll be like, oh, I made, 100% profit or whatever. But did you factor in what you fed them, how long you fed them, how much did that mom cost last year to make that kid? All those things are important questions that people don't factor in, and maybe some people do. But this really opens your eyes and makes you realize, hey, I'm making more than I thought I was, or hey, I'm actually losing money. I'm getting a good price per pound, $3.50 at the sale barn, but I'm pumping, way more money into them, and I'm really not making any money. So, very helpful sheet. Really opens your eyes. Whether you're doing it by the head, or you're selling them by the pound. All right. So first off, the number of head is pretty self-explanatory here. So how many are you selling? Are you selling 70? Let's just say you've got 25. Let's just say you've got 40 wethers that you're going to be selling at the sale barn. Here, these tabs right here, you're either going to fill out this number, which is price to support one dam. So what did it cost you to raise that dam that had a kid in her for 5 months? What is her yearly rate as far as, and that's everything. You're not going to know this number unless you track everything, and unless you're filling out a expected gross margin sheet, which we've already put out there for you. So let's just say these are kids, these are wethers that you raised. You didn't buy them at the sale barn. We'll run through a scenario like that real quick here in a second. But let's just say you didn't buy them at the sale barn. You raised them from a dam, and that each dam had a one kidding rate. If you want to get more in depth with it, get with me. I'll make a different one with a different equation. But just to keep it simple so everybody understands, this $80 is what each dam is raising one kid for this scenario. So 40 kids, $80 a dam. So the total price, which is calculated for you, is going to be 80 times 40, which is $3,200, is what your initial cost is going to be as soon as that kid hits the ground. And that's something a lot of people forget to include is, I sold, this many goats to sell barn, I made this much money. But how much did you really make? Did you factor in what it cost to raise that dam for the 5 months or however long, just say she's pregnant for 5 months and you kept her all year and you've had her. So what's her yearly rate? Let's just say that's $80. And that's everything. Hay, feed, mineral, vet supplies, everything is included in this number. All right, let's jump to how many pounds are you going to feed them a day? Okay, you're going to feed them 1 pound a day. That's what this number is, 1 pound a day. How many days are you going to feed them? Let's say you're going to feed them for 90 days, so 3 months. You're going to feed them every day. You're going to feed them 1 pound. This is the average wean weight or the buy weight. So let's just we're going to run through that here in a second. But let's say you wean them at 35 pounds and you want to get them to 75 pounds. So here's kind of what we feed sometimes, but mainly it's either this creep feed or an alfalfa pellet. But let's just say you're going to put them on this 14% creep feed, and in our area, that's what this costs right here. Price per sack is $11.70, and then all these are auto-generated by this number. And all these numbers are very important, all these right here, because they are what's filling out this sheet down here. This number right here is being auto-generated. So, like I said, you take price per head per day, and it's really not price per head per day. It's price per the 40 head per day. So it's going to cost, 40 kids are eating 1 pound. Each pound is costing 23 cents a pound. that gives you, your 9.36 pounds. So really, we can, don't take that literal, price per head per day. Like I said, I know what these mean. I still need to beautify it a little bit so everybody understands. So $9 $36 to feed those 40 head, 1 pound each day, and then that obviously is multiplied by the days that you're doing. So that number is key, and then this number right here, the $3,200, is going to be key as well. Well, let's say you're dry lotting them, you're not putting them on pasture. Let's say you're feeding them a hay bale, and if you're not, then all these numbers are going to be zero. As well as if you're not feeding them out, you're on straight pasture. This sheet works for everything. You just got to know kind of what it's saying. And I'm going to work on trying to make it more user friendly. These all make sense to me, obviously, because I made it. My wife made it. So if you need more in-depth explanation, please get with me. But I'm trying to keep this short, like I said. And then let's say you pay $80 a bale. Hay was very expensive this year. Then that breaks it down for price per pound. And then this one is average pounds consumed factor. So let's say they're taking in 3% of their body weight, and then you're feeding them, like I said, for 90 days on a dry lot. And then this number right here is 20 cents per head per day. So how did I get that number? You're taking the 9 cents times, a 75 pound. We're just going to put them at 75 pounds. That's what they're, it's going to come in a little high, obviously, but you're trying to come in higher than you are lower. So you're taking 75 pounds times that factor times the number of days. So that's going to give you the price per head per day is 20 cents a head. And then total to feed out those 40 kids is going to be $720. So this number right here, total to feed out for hay, total to feed out for feed, and then, what it costs to raise those dams is going to be your total input costs, okay, which is right here. Input cost, feed, hay, plus your purchase or your raising price, okay? So next, you're going to talk about your revenue. So what is this number generated from right here? This number is generated for if you're getting $1.50 per pound, and then you take that by the head that you're selling, and that's going to mean this parentheses number obviously means you're in the negative. So it's pretty cool. There's some other factors in there that you can, everybody can think about. But this is just basic, kind of putting a number to what your expectations are going to be. Okay, really quickly, let's run through this other scenario. Let's say you didn't buy them you didn't raise them, right? Let's say you're buying some kids at the sale barn. You're trying to resell them, you're trying to feed them out. Okay, let's say you buy them at $2 a pound, right? $2 a pound, and all these other numbers these two numbers are gonna be auto-generated, so I actually need to change that. And then, so sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. You buy them at 2 pounds a head, and you're buying 40 of them, and they each, this number obviously, like I said, is what you're buying them at. So these two numbers are being generated based off of what the average weight of them is coming through that sale barn ring. So you buy them at 2 pounds, you're at their average weight of 35 pounds times 40. That's what's giving you these two numbers. This number's now not important. Everything else is the same. That's what's really cool about it. You're either filling out this number or this number, not both. So, and then that's going to generate these and kind of giving you an idea on where to, and like I said, those might change. Maybe you're only going to feed them for 30 days, so bam, you're only going to feed them for 30 days, and you want to get them to, 50 pounds. Okay, bam. And you're not feeding them for that no more. You're feeding them for 30 days. And like I said, now this number changes again because your goal factor or your goal weight isn't 75 pounds anymore, it's 50 pounds. So really cool sheet, does a lot for you. And let's run through this other scenario. If you're selling them by head, let's say you're selling 50 nanny kid. Your goal is to sell 50 nanny kids for the year. You raise them. You're not buying them from the sale barn. Like I said, I'm not going to run through that again. We just went through that number. Let's change this real quick to white so it doesn't confuse anybody. You're raising them. Like each dam, is raising one kid. We went through all that. You're going to sell 50 kids, nanny kids this year. But you're not going to sell them till they're about 9 months old. So you're going to have to feed them for 90 days. You're not going to feed them every day. Let's say you feed them once a week. Okay? You're going to feed them once a week. That's 4 times a month times 6 is 24. Okay, so bam, 24 times days fed, total days fed within those 6 months. Okay, let's say you wean them at 25 pounds, and we're putting this in here because it's just a factor that is unimportant, because you're not worried about the weight on what you're selling them to, or the average weight. You're just trying to get them gentled down, get them used to people coming around. So you're just feeding them that once a week. If you want to feed them a little bit more heavier, you can change that. And let's say out of those 6 months, you're going to put them on hay for a total of 30 days, whether that's square bales or whatever. And all that, like I said, you can change all that here. So same deal. Everything's the same. The only thing that's different now is price per head. You're not doing it by weight no more. So pretty neat. So let's say you're selling 50 kids, and you're factoring in what it costs to raise that dam for the year, and now you're feeding them 1 pound per head per each feeding. You wean them at 25 pounds. You're not really worried about what they're going to be, what their goal weight is, so we're just going to put in 1 there. And then this is your goal. Let's say you want to sell them at $300 a head. 50 nanny kids at $300 a head. This is what you're looking at right here. Those are your potential profits after everything's said and done. If you want to factor in, obviously you might have some more expenses in there, but like a vet, maybe you're going to worm them, you give them CDT, give them all the vaccines, do all that stuff. So you can add that in pretty much anywhere. So if you wanted to add in a couple more dollars or something, let's say $5 a kid or something, just change this number to 85. You're just adding $5 onto that dam just for instructional purposes. But that extra $5 is vaccines and tags and all that stuff. So that changes a little bit. And let's just say you're not feeding them, those, let's say you're selling them straight off the pasture. You're only giving them feed maybe once a month in those 6 months. You're gonna wean them at 3 months, 4 months, so they're 4 months old. 6 months after that, so at 10 months, within those 6 months, you're only going to feed them once a month. So that's just you put 6 in right here. Okay. Let's say you're not feeding them any hay at all. They're on straight pasture. Just change this number right here, just $70 to $0, and it'll zero everything else out. So if you're feeding kids or you're raising them on pasture, this sheet will work for you. If you want to sell them by the head, or let's say you want to sell them by the pound, wethers, or some whatever it be. And this is not just kids. This could be, we have sheep as well. So this works out for sheep as well. So very helpful. This sheet is really cool, guys, because some people don't factor in everything. Like I said, this isn't everything, but this is 99% of it, 95% of it. You're not people. They say they make this much money, they're selling their kids for this much. Well, how much of that is actually profit? And this sheet will open your eyes if you're honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, then obviously it's not going to do much good for you. But be honest with yourself when you're filling this sheet out. Use it to set goals, to be better for the next year, yada yada yada. If you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to explain. Like I said, I still need to make some critiques, but just wanted to put this out there for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Spring is here. We're going to be posting a lot more content as far as any and everything, small ruminants, anything. So please just give us any suggestions you guys got on what you want to see. And thanks for watching.